All right, everybody, I hope you're having a great week. We have a ton of cord news to report. Roku just announced several new features, including a really cool free streaming tool that will take basically all the content out there that's free across a ton of different apps and put them all in one spot. Excuse me. And they also announced some additional features like the Roku channel is rolling out to more devices. And well, hey, we're giving away a Roku TV, some free Sling TV, and more. So come on in, join us as I quickly share this across all of our social media. We'll chat all things cord cutting. If you have a cord cutting related question, post it here. And hopefully we can help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. And we can talk about some cord cutting news in general. So I am putting this up in the last few spots here. I see people rolling in. It's great to have you here. Thank you for all of your support. All right, last place. Got to get this on Facebook, and we'll be ready to go. Duff, good to see you back again. Yep, you're the first one in the comment today. We'll see if the name throws anyone. All right. And as I finish that, if you are, excuse me, apologize. If you are new here and you're watching this on replay every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube for about an hour, it varies a little bit every week, we answer your cord cutting related questions. My goal here is to help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience by making cord cutting as easy as possible to find all the legal options out there. So with this list or this hour, post your questions. I'll do my best to help you. All right. Linda, Teresa, Chris, Rudel, Victor, Raymond, good to see you all here. Any update on Charter versus New York? No, Charter just said that they are going to fight in the courts to keep their New York markets. Hello, Rosie, Lon Chaney, and Jimmy. It's good to see you all here. So everybody see the new Roku free content. Basically, they're putting a tab on the Roku home screen that will take all the free movies and TV shows from apps like ABC, Freeform, Pluto, Crackle, Tubi, etc. Put it all in one spot so you can easily see everything. Even if you don't have that app installed, it's going to take all that content, put it out there all in one place. So you click on a movie from an app you don't install, it will automatically add it and you'll be all set. So if you haven't played around with that, it really seems like Roku, if you want free content, Roku just kind of took a big leap forward. They've always been a great source for free movies and TV shows. Now Roku seems to be maybe one of the best legal sources out there. So keep an eye on that. Details over at CordCardsNews.com if you want to learn more. Do you see Air TV as being the future in cutting the cable, as it allows you to use your locals? Yeah, I think devices like the Air TV, Tablo DVRs, and others that allows you to take your antenna and then restream it out to multiple devices, or in like the Air TV Classic, where it takes it all and builds it into a single user interface. So you got Sling TV right next to your over-the-air TV antenna, next to your Netflix and more. I think it's really cool. Hello, Derek. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Hey, I see a lot of people are here. In the comments down below is a link to enter for a giveaway of Roku TV, free month of Sling TV, and I'll even throw a Mohu antenna. Check that out if you want to enter for a chance to win a free Roku 4K TV. Luke, do you support IPTV? Well, technically IPTV could be DirecTV Now, Sling, all kinds of stuff. Typically, though, people who call themselves IPTV services, I'll say this. As my grandma always says, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I've been having a lot of phone calls recently from people. Hey, I bought this $300 box. It called it IPTV. Promised me free HBO. All this stuff for life if I paid them $300. Had a very growing number of people like, hey, I spent all this money. Now it doesn't work. So just keep in mind that when you buy something that sounds too good to be true, don't come complaining if it stops working next year. So I would definitely not be buying any of these $300 devices that tell you everything. But I'll just kind of leave it at that. Each service is individual. Do your research, see if they're legitimate or not. But just remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Who do you think DirecTV Now is having? Why do you think DirecTV Now is having so many problems? They're reportedly growing much faster than any of the other services right now, probably struggling to keep up with demand. I thought I saw BIN Sports on PlayStation View. That time they showed the channels from Viacom. You know, I didn't hear that. So about a week ago, 2 weeks ago now, it's hard to remember. For a little while, Viacom and A&E networks reappeared on PlayStation View. I don't remember hearing BIN Sports Network was there, but very well could be. Could they be coming back to PlayStation View? Very possible. But for now, it looks to be a glitch in the system. But we'll wait and see. As for it, says Luke, how come you don't have the Longhorn Network listed in your OTT service comparison? I see the Big Ten Network. The Big Ten Network on many services is a national network. For instance, if you get PlayStation View, it's available in all markets. The Longhorn Network is a regional channel. So we do have a section in the channel guide that talks about regional sports and locals. And because the Big Ten Network, or the Longhorn Network, is treated as a regional sports network on services like PlayStation View, where it's only available in select states, we treat it as a regional network and we don't include it in the master chart. We have it under a regional sports network list. Hope that answers your question. Do you think Amazon will ever block third-party apps? They very well could. They have in the past. They have gone and said, hey, when apps change the behavior of the Fire TV, when they come in and they alter the way the Fire TV works, Amazon has come in the past and said, hey, that's not what we allow. For instance, when an app came that would allow you boot directly into Kodi instead of going to the Fire TV home screen, they blocked it. So just keep that in mind. Yes, they can, they have, and they may do it again. Luke, any chance of these services devices allowed to purchase pay-per-view events? Several do. Sling TV does. Even if you're not a Sling TV customer, you can create an account and buy a pay-per-view event through Sling TV. I want to say Amazon does. There's a few others out there that do offer pay-per-view events. Somebody help me here in the comments. Sling TV does. UFC has their own app, which also sells UFC events. But I think there's another one out there that offers pay-per-view events like UFC. Somebody leave a comment. Let me know what I'm missing there. Luke, have you heard about T-Mobile coming out with a cord cutting service? Yeah, have you? And then ask again, have you heard anything about that? Yeah, I have heard about T-Mobile's new T-Mobile TV. We reported on it when it first broke. We've had quite a few articles on it over at corecarsnews.com if you want to read more about it. But we are always keeping a close eye on it. For now, we'll have to wait and see. There's no new news right now, but if there is any breaking news, we will be all over it. If Amazon blocks third-party apps, their devices will become useless. They only allow it because of the sales. You know, Fire TV has many great apps in the App Store. I think the reality of it, when you look at the statistics, the majority of the Fire TV owners use the Fire TV for the official Fire TV apps, not ones like Kodi. I mean, the market share of Kodi on the Fire TV is a fraction the size of the market share of the Fire TV overall. So I don't think it would doom the Fire TV. And you look at Roku. Roku has been cracking down on third-party apps for pirated content. And Roku just reported one of their best quarters ever recently. So I think if Amazon would survive if they ever crack down on it. Do I think they will crack down on it? At this time, they have shown no interest in really cracking down on piracy. That may change if they run into issues like Roku did, where Roku went to Mexico and Mexican government banned them because they said, hey, you allow piracy on your device, so we're not going to allow you to sell Rokus in Mexico. And so Mexico has come and cracked down on it. So Roku's turned around and started cracking down on it. So I don't know. It's very possible if Amazon hits that in other countries, where other countries start saying, hey, we're going to ban the sale of the Fire TV because you have piracy, that may change Amazon's point of view. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Yes, Roku has only been public for less than a year, but in their report today, as foretold, if you read my story over at corecarsnews.com, you would see they had their fastest growing quarter since the fourth quarter of 2013. That's all disclosed in the earnings statement. You can read more details over at corecarsnews.com. Is there, I hear news possibility that Android is going to stop third-party apps. You know, that's just kind of been one of those rumors. And Fire TV is going to stop third-party apps. Android is going to stop third-party apps. The Apple TV, I mean, actually, they're fairly hard on third-party apps, but it's theoretically possible. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Two things, these devices are $30. If it stops giving you what you want, you're out $30. It's not a big deal. 30, $40 for a Fire TV stick or a Roku Express, etc. So I just wouldn't lose worry over that. Will the NHL network be coming to PlayStation View? I don't know. I want to say PlayStation View is on Sling TV and another one. If you go to corecardsnews.com, at the top there's a button at corecardsnews.com, so it's beginner's guide to cord cutting. There's a pull down right there. It allows you to click on it and select the how to watch cable channels without cable. And there has a breakdown of all the different services that have the different channels. And NHL Network is on several different streaming services. Luke, when did Roku say that the Roku channel is going mobile? Well, it's on mobile browsers right now. So today, they launched it on browsers for phones, tablets, laptops, etc. One of the things, I've unfortunately been out of the office too today. I've had some meetings and had to take my daughter to gymnastics, that kind of stuff. So I haven't tested it, but I believe I'm hearing reports that the Roku channel also works on the Fire TV through the Firefox and the Silk browser. So it's pretty much on everything streaming on the home network. So just keep that in mind, or on through the browser. Will TiVo ever get streaming apps like DirecTV Now or Sling? Very possible. The reality, though, is TiVo's kind of getting out of the hardware business. They're selling, so future DVRs are not going to be made or sold by TiVo anymore. TiVo, they merged with another company. They're almost like they have their patents, so they're making money off all the patents they have. B, they also have a lot of data that they're reselling and managing that data. So they're basically a data patent company now. There's another company that's developing TiVos and selling TiVos under the TiVo brand, handling all the shipping and manufacturing, everything. So the future of TiVo is kind of unknown right now because it's kind of like BlackBerry. BlackBerry's still a company. They have all the data, their enterprise products, but TLC actually manufactures BlackBerry phones now. All BlackBerry phones come from TLC. BlackBerry's still a company. They've just licensed out the name, the specs, the hardware, and so forth to TLC. And TiVo's kind of doing the same thing. So it's kind of an interesting thought pattern there. So keep in mind. I switched from Sling TV to Hulu Live after reading your comparison on your website. I'm so much happier. James, I'm glad you found it. Yeah, my recommendation to everybody is take advantage of the free trials. Pretty much all live TV streaming services offer a free trial. If they don't, I'll recommend not using them. But check that out. It's a pretty cool feature there. Does any live TV streaming service let you extend the time of the DVR recording? Some automatically do it. PlayStation View, a few others have been slowly rolling out additional features. And so just keep that in mind that they've been rolling out the ability to automatically extend live events, but for now I don't know of any that necessarily offer the ability to go in there and manually edit it to be extended. If anybody knows if I'm wrong, can you go into, YouTube doesn't do it, DirecTV Now doesn't do it, Sling, PlayStation View, Fubo? Does Fubo offer the ability to manually set time? I don't know. Let me know. Look, I tried AT&T Watch. I like it. Not bad for $15. The layout is good. Has some cool features. Yeah, for $15, it's not bad. Problem is, I think a lot of people will miss the limited news choices in sports. Hey guys, we're really not here to talk about politics. And if you're looking to talk about politics, this is probably the wrong channel because we're going to cover all things cord cutting today. I have a question. If all TV services become streaming, can they stream live TV in 4K? Actually, there's more 4K streaming than there is on cable networks. For live TV, Fubo TV offers 4K with like the Fox Sports networks, and many other services from Netflix, Amazon, and on all offer 4K content. You'll find much more 4K content with cord cutting and streaming than you will ever find out there outside of it. Will Fox News come out with a live streaming app for their news channels? Well, if you have a cable or a Sling TV or other, not Sling TV because they don't have Fox, but other services like DirecTV Now, Fox does have apps on Roku and other devices that will allow you to log in with your cable provider, watch the live stream. If you don't have a cable provider, you can get on-demand content for free, ad-supported. But Fox has announced by the end of the year they're going to launch something called Fox Nation, and it's going to be a subscription news channel. It's not going to be a feed from their main Fox News network, but it's going to be a same host, different programming basically, and it's going to come out later this year. Pricing, we're still not knowing. It's rumored to be well under $10. Some people have been pegging it $5 or less a month for the service. So keep that in mind. D asks, what do you think of the new FCC rules of pole sharing? Besides 5G, what about the other TV and broadband restrictions being lifted? I think the new pole sharing rules from the FCC is one of the best things that happened in cord cutting in a long time. If you don't know what happened, about a week ago, the FCC came out with new rules that says basically if you have a telephone pole, which also goes for the underground pipes and stuff, the conduits that run cables underground through neighborhoods and so forth, in these easements, if you have this, basically in less than a month from the time, let's say Google Fiber requests the ability to run a line on there, that they have to get access basically. And what's been happening is the existing providers have been pulling every trick in the book to dramatically slow down the rollout of 5G, the rollout of Google Fiber and others. And that has seriously taken a bite into competition. So out there, with this new rule, it basically says AT&T, CenturyLink, Verizon, you can't stop other people from putting content in these poles. Towns don't want 6 poles all right next to each other, so they want them shared. AT&T says, well, they've been saying, well, we don't want inexperienced technicians working our poles because they may damage our equipment. The FCC says, tough luck. As long as they're not moving existing equipment, they're not splicing into existing equipment, etc. As long as they're not doing anything to your equipment, you basically have to allow these companies, which is great for 5G. Even though 5G is wireless, you still have to run fiber to where the towers are. So this is going to help roll that out and really make cord cutting better because it's going to bring more competition. It's going to mean that in your neighborhood, maybe you're finally going to get that fiber option wired to your home. More importantly, it's going to bring wireless services out there. So just keep that in mind. Hey, a lot of new people here. First of all, thanks for being here. Hit that subscribe button. We're very close to 30,000 subscribers. Help us push over that today. I think tomorrow's the day we're probably going to hit it. But hey, hit that subscribe button if you're new. If you are here, check it out. We are giving away a TCL Roku TV. It's a 4K TV, HDR, a month of Sling TV, and we're giving away a Mohu antenna. In the show notes down below, I have a link to where you can sign up for that. Hey, check that out. Enter the giveaway. Tons of options. The more things you do for the giveaway, the more entries you get, the bigger your chances are to win. So check it out. It's down in the show notes. Have plenty of time to enter, but do it now. And if you're new again, hit that subscribe button. But hey, if I didn't answer your question, re-ask it. A lot of questions, as I answer one question, others fly by and I miss them. So keep those questions coming. If I don't answer it, just re-ask it, and I'll do my best to answer them. Hi, Luke. Do you prefer the Roku or the Fire Stick? I think they're both great. I really love the casting on Roku and YouTube. I think the Fire TV just re-added that to the Silk browser. I like Twitch. I know Roku has some unofficial Twitch, so does the Apple TV. I like it. I could make an argument for both the Fire TV and Roku. In my house, I use primary Roku. It was actually the first device I ever owned, but it's something that's so simple. My daughter, who is 5, and my parents, who are in their 60s, easily use my Roku. So I kind of like it just because it seems like whoever comes over, I don't have to explain how to use the Roku. They just kind of know how to use it. So I think that's great. The Fire TV offers things the Roku doesn't. The Roku offers things the Fire TV doesn't. I really like the new Watch It Free feature that Roku has, where they take all the free content from vast majority of their channels, puts it in one easy to find spot. I really think for cord cutting, that kind of makes Roku a killer app there. But hey, you can really find a lot of different ones out there. Tech You Out Guy says, didn't you say Twitch is going to air NFL games for free? Yeah, this season, Thursday Night Football games that air on Fox will also air for free on Twitch. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can also stream them through the Amazon Video app. But the Twitch app, which there are third-party apps that work for Twitch on Roku and Apple TV and others, Android, Fire TV, and more, does offer a free stream of the NFL. They when I interviewed the head of Amazon Sports a couple months ago. He said something about needing to create an account. He said you'll have to have a Twitch account or an Amazon account, but it's 100% free. Typically, you can watch Twitch events even without an account, but you need an account to comment. So I don't know. Either way, those accounts are 100% free. But yes, Twitch will offer NFL Thursday night football games that air on Fox for free this year. Luke, do you think AT&T buying themselves into debt with all these companies? I really think that AT&T's got to be careful here. You look at radio. You think of iHeartMedia, which used to be called Clear Channel before kind of the apocalypse in radio. And Clear Channel was one of the biggest at the time. What they did is they borrowed a ton of money and they went around and said, hey, the pie of radio is getting smaller. So why don't we go out there and buy a bigger chunk of it so that even though the pie is getting smaller, we'll still own a good part of it and make the same amount of money. The problem that happened with Clear Channel, now iHeartRadio, is the pie shrank a heck of a lot faster than people thought they would. So just keep that in mind, that there is a lot of risk there. Now, AT&T seems to be trying to diversify and get outside of it. They just bought like Crunchyroll and a bunch of other stuff, streaming services. So they're trying to diversify. I do worry about the debt they're incurring, that they may turn into the next iHeartRadio, who's recently declared bankruptcy. We'll wait and see. But, I'm no great expert on this. I'm just watching this on the outside as a reporter saying this just seems like a lot of debt. But, I'm sure they have numbers and accountants and lawyers that are much smarter than I am, you would think. So, I don't know. Mule asks, cell phone towers, who actually owns them? So that depends. A lot of different companies own it. There's a lot of smaller companies that will basically come to you, rent a piece of land, put a cell phone tower on it, and then they will re-rent out to other companies. So cell phone towers, same kind of things. Many cities and towns and states have passed laws that say cell phone towers have to allow multiple companies to put transmitters on it. Some of them are actually owned by the big companies like AT&T, T-Mobile, and others. Others are owned by third-party ones. So just keep that in mind, that there's a lot of options out there. Chase said, I'm looking to catch NFL games on NFL Network, but YouTube TV doesn't carry it. So if you want the games that are on the NFL Network and you have YouTube TV, you're basically down to PlayStation Vue, Fubo TV, DirecTV Now, and Sling TV. That's your options. The great thing about cord cutting is there's no contract. So you can always leave YouTube TV, go get DirecTV Now, Sling, PlayStation Vue, Fubo for football season, and then come back to YouTube TV when it's done. That'll be my suggestion. So just remember, there's a lot of options out there for cord cutting for you to go out and say, hey, I want to, this month I'll get this service, next month I'll get that service. One of the things that I think a lot of people struggle about with cord cutting is the fact that they get in the cable mindset that when I sign up for a service, I have to have that service for a year or 2 years. With cord cutting, you don't. So I would say, hey, maybe drop YouTube TV for NFL season and pick it up once the season's done. When I say third-party apps, Roger, when people usually talk about third-party apps or services like the Fire TV or Android TV, usually talk about apps that aren't included in the official channel store. Some of them are legit. A lot of them are piracy apps. That's just kind of the name people go for that. Raymond says, who owns the poles? That depends on where you live. There's a lot of things about that. Some cities own those poles. Some companies own those poles. So it depends on where you live. Does Fox Sports Go show replays? I believe it does. ESPN does. Anybody remember if Fox Sports Go has replays of past games? Let me know. Speaking of which, one of the really cool things about watching ESPN is like after a college football game, sometimes the same day, they'll post a replay of the game on ESPN3, or if you authenticate sometimes, I'm not sure how they're doing this year, and they edit out all the commercials. So you get you get to watch everything from the game without the commercials, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you're like me and sometimes you like to watch it, but it's a great feature out there. Look, do you know anything about the Xfinity on campus that is offered by university students living in housing? Yeah, it's a cable system. I once did a Freedom of Information Act to a bunch of colleges. So this is interesting. I had this idea of a story about how we could lower the cost of higher education and living in dorms by maybe getting rid of the cable. Well, it turns out Comcast doesn't charge schools basically anything. You're talking per student like less than $1 per school year goes to cable TV for their dorm room. And Comcast does that, and so do other companies, because they want you to get hooked. They're hoping that, so you're in a dorm room, you're going to live there for 2-3 years or longer. You're going to get addicted to having our service. When you graduate, you get out, you're going to become a lifelong Comcast subscriber, right? So they basically give it to colleges for free with the hope that you'll continue to subscribe once it's done. Yeah, so I did a bunch of research. That's a few years old now, but when I looked at it, they're not charging colleges anything for the cost of that service. It's basically being given away. When does DirecTV Now, why does DirecTV Now not have Fox Sports Overflow channels? It does if you use your DirecTV Now login to the Fox Sports Go. Sling TV, I think, is the only one that includes the overflow channels, maybe PlayStation View. Does PlayStation View or YouTube TV include the overflow channels for like Fox Sports, etc.? Let me know. What are my thoughts on the Toshiba Amazon Fire TV? I haven't been played around with one. They keep promising a review unit, but they haven't followed through on it yet. So I can't really comment on the quality. I've heard people be very happy. I haven't heard of a lot of complaints about it. It's definitely not as popular as the Roku ones. I think in our studies, a lot more of our readers are buying the Roku ones. But I haven't had anybody ever say I bought a Toshiba TV and I've been unhappy with it. So there's that. To whom at Hulu do you contact to try to get them to add the NFL Network and NFL Red Zone? I would just contact their customer service. So, Johnny, I don't believe that service is working. It got shut down for copyright violation. This year, we're looking forward to upgrading to a 4K HDR or Dolby Vision. Which will be better for streaming, a PlayStation 4 gaming or a Samsung QLED? Well, remember, if you want a 4K, even if you buy a PlayStation 4 Pro, you still need a TV that supports 4K HDR. Now, if you're willing to pay over $1,000, the Samsung ones are great. If you're looking for sub $1,000, you're like, I want to pay less than $1,000 for a 4K HDR Dolby Vision TV. I have to say the Roku TCL 6 series is probably the best sub $1,000 4K HDR TV with Dolby Vision. Now, if you're looking to spend a lot more, Samsung, LG, I mean, they got some great $2,000-$3,000 TVs. They're just fantastic, to be honest with you. But that's my thing. Under $1,000, go to the TCL Roku 6 series. Over $1,000, you may want to look at like the Samsung and so on. The downside is now that you bought the Samsung, to get all the apps, you may still need to get a Roku or Fire TV, one of the higher end ones that includes 4K HDR. So just keep that in mind. The nice thing about the Roku 4K 6 series, it has everything built in, all the content there. Samsung is fairly good about having content, but their library apps are just not as advanced as it. PS4 is a lot better about apps, but again, not quite as advanced as the Roku one. So that's just my thought on it. Have you used any file requests recently? I use them every now and then. You gotta be careful because they can bill you for that. There is a reasonable cost, and sometimes they try to really stick you with really high expensive fees on it. So you gotta be kind of careful when you do a FOIA request, not to get stuck with a massive bill. How can I download DirecTV Now app on an Android box? There's no official ones. There may be some official ones out there for it, but Android TV is not supported by DirecTV Now at this time. Android is supported on phones and tablets, but not for devices like the NVIDIA Shield. Luke, why don't Pluto TV have locals on their mobile app, but have them on their Roku users? Is that correct? So Pluto TV by default has no locals because you have to pay for that. Now, what Pluto TV on Roku TVs? So if you install Pluto TV on Roku TV and you have an antenna connected, it will pull from that the antenna on your TV and put it into your Pluto TV guide. So no, it's not necessarily giving you locals just streaming. It's just displaying the content from your antenna connected to your Roku TV. Yeah, that's the problem. So here's the keep up this great content. The Samsung Q9 FN looks amazing, but it's $3,000. That's the reason why I said, hey, if you're looking to spend a lot of money, those Samsungs are great. But if you're looking for less than $1,000, those TCL 6 series just can't be beat. They really are. I have one down in my living room now. I'm playing around with it for under $1,000. It's probably the best one. And yes, I know a lot of people say, well, the Vizio. If you read online, you find other people who will say the same thing, that the TCL 6 series this year's model is just better than the Vizio one, just in my opinion. All right. Keep those questions coming. If I haven't answered it, re-ask it, and I will do my best to answer all of them. And while we wait, though, there's a lot of new people here. Real quick, we are giving away a 4K HDR TCL Roku TV, a month of Sling TV, a Mohu antenna. Enter now for your chance to win this TV. Check out in the show notes down below. I have a link to the giveaway. There's many options to enter the giveaway. The more you do, the more chances you have to win. And hey, I see a lot of new names here. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 30,000. Be really cool if we hit that today. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit that tomorrow, but let's see if we can speed that up at all. So, hey, if you're not here, if you're not subscribed to us, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. So check that out. Lucas, the free content tab coming to Roku TVs. Yes, they say it starts today. Probably like 1 million some devices will get it today. Over the next couple of weeks, Roku TVs and all current Roku models, I think pretty much built from 2011 forward. So any Roku made in 2011 and forward will include the new Roku tab. So check it out. It's a really cool feature. What is the best channel preferred? Johnny, I don't know if I understand your question. He says, Luke, what is the best channel preferred? Can you give me a little bit more details on your question? I'll do my best to help. Yes, Skills asked, did I see the new Tab 4? Samsung came out with a 256 gigabyte hard drive, 4 gigs of RAM tablet, or Tab 4. I have a basic tab from Samsung for my daughter as a tablet for her. We have ABC mouse on it. We have some other stuff that doesn't come with the Amazon Fire tablet. And I must say, that is a good, for the price, good tablet. Battery life is excellent. And it's good affordable. I haven't tested that one, but I will say I was pleasantly surprised for a cheap tablet for my daughter to use YouTube Kids and ABC mouse. Can't be beat. So, all right. I hope the Disney streaming service will be available on Roku at launch. Do you see Bollywood movies being part of their service? Disney have not said the supported device. We're still looking at probably a year or longer from now until the Disney service comes out. I would be shocked if it's not on Roku. Disney's actually been one of those companies that puts most of their content on Roku first, so we'll wait and see. Calderay says the best free content's on Tubi, TV, and Pluto. Yeah, those are great. Add in Crackle, add in Pluto, or Crackle and the Roku channel. And man, here's my thing with free content. I think a lot of people dismiss, Tubi, they got ads. If you don't want ads, that's great. But I think there's a lot of content out there that I would enjoy watching. Like the Roku channel has Bewitched and I Heart Genie. I used to watch those growing up. Love that. I probably wouldn't pay money to see I Dream of Genie or Bewitched. But if I'm in my office and I'm doing some stuff, I'm picking up the house, I'm doing my taxes, which is always fun being a self-employed person. These are great options, and I may throw that on there. I would say when you look at it, you take Duff said Hoopla Digital, which comes with your library card. You take all these services, Roku, Pluto, Crackle, Tubi, etc., put them all in one, and you have a massive catalog of content, bigger than anything you're going to get from Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. Are Roku TVs compatible with soundbar mounts for the TV? I know their soundbars work on the Roku TV. I've tested it. Roku's actually come out with their own line of speakers for Roku TVs, high-end ones, which will seamlessly connect. So yeah, it is. Work with it. As far as is there mounts or bars for it, I'm not sure. Look at the specific Roku TV you're looking at. There's like 7 manufacturer Roku TVs out there, so just keep that in mind. Luke, do you think the VCR will make a comeback like they intended? Not really. There's a lot of VHS is just not as good as DVD. DVD has a better chance of making a massive comeback than VHS does because DVDs are on the downturn too. Most movies are either streamed through a service like Netflix or downloaded. DVD sales are plummeting. So just keep that in mind. that there's a major change out there. We have a VHS, and it's actually really great because we go to flea markets and stuff. I love flea markets. I pick up some like old Disney movies and stuff on VHS. But when you watch them, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a quality issue here. Plus, VHS players are historically susceptible for corrosion. And man, like I have DVDs I bought a long time ago, and they just work. They look beautiful as the day I bought them. My VHS tapes look faded and not nearly as good. So just keep that in mind. Have I ever tested out a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player? I've tested out several Blu-ray players. I have a couple. They're great. Can you hook up a Chromecast to Roku TV? Yes, I have a Chromecast plugged into my Roku TV. Don't really use it that much anymore because pretty much most things either have a Roku channel now or they support the Roku casting standard. But I actually do have a Chromecast there. I just don't remember the last time I actually used my Chromecast, to be honest with you. Luke, what do you love? I'm assuming you're saying I would just love a red zone app for college football. There is kind of one. So ESPN does have I think they call it Goal Line, and it's included with pretty much every streaming service now that has ESPN. If you log into the ESPN app, PlayStation View, DirecTV Now, I believe has it, Sling TV, it has it built into theirs. But they do offer the ability to have an NFL red zone experience for college football. And I really like it because what I usually do is I put through the Watch ESPN app on my tablet. I have it set on the couch next to me as I watch the game I'm watching. But I can glance at it and then, can watch it. So just keep that in mind. That's a pretty cool feature. If you want Goal Line or NFL Red Zone for college football, check out Goal Line. NYC says the only thing I'm waiting for is Facebook Watch on Roku. Yeah, it's kind of weird because Facebook, actually, the first device Facebook ever launched an app for on a streaming player was Roku. And it was there for years and years and years. And when they rolled out the new Facebook Watch thing, the only one they didn't bring it to was Roku. It's kind of weird. Major loss on their part because according to a recent survey of core cars, over 2,000 core cars say 70% of them use Roku. So their lack of support there is just a bad one. Luke, what will 5G networks do for cord cutting? Will it solve the speed issues, data caps, or net neutrality? I think the big thing for cord cutting that 5G will do is bring in competition. So the big problem with internet right now is lack of competition. If you're lucky, you have 2, maybe 3 internet providers where you live. Some areas may have 4, but they're extremely rare. And that means there's little competition, little need to improve the network, offer cheaper plans, data caps. So when suddenly 5G rolls out and you have 6, 7, 8 home internet providers to pick from, yeah, that's going to do things like data caps, which is purely a method to make additional money. That's going to go away. Other things like customer service will be the other thing. I think people will be willing to pay a little bit more if the customer service. Hey, if I can spend $10 extra for good customer service, or I save $10 a month for cruddy customer service, I'm going to pay that $10. So I think it's going to cause customer service to become better. It will definitely put pressure on eliminating data caps. C-Spire was one of the first to launch a 5G network in the United States a couple months ago now. They have it for $50, 120 down, no data cap. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of options out there that offers. There's a lot of hope that 5G is going to bring competition. It's going to bring better quality. It's going to bring better pricing. It's going to bring better customer service and hopefully help you save some money. Why do you think streaming rentals cost 4x of Redbox? It's so much cheaper to stream. It's convenience. You're paying for the convenience a little bit of it. You pay about $2 to rent a DVD now. It's $1.50, $2. I can't remember a Redbox all of a second. You pay about $4 to $7 for a movie. 3 things happen. Often nowadays, movies are available for streaming before they're on Redbox. The other thing to remember is when Redbox buys it, they pay one flatly fee and then they can rent the same DVD over and over and over. Downside to you is it's a limited quantity. You may get there and the movie you want may not be there. So Redbox can afford to sell a little cheaper because they know they're going to get that same disc and resell it multiple times. When Netflix or when Amazon sells a movie or rental, they have to pay a license each time they sell that movie for a rental. So the movie studio gets paid every time. With Redbox, they get paid one time when they purchase that movie. So just keep that in mind. That's the difference. That's the pricing. The price difference has a lot to do with the rental fees. Hello, Tim. What's my pick for the best OTR DVR? Looking at Channel Master, Stream Plus, or TiVo. I would definitely look also at the Tableau DVRs. So Channel Master, TiVo, or Tableau DVRs. The Stream Plus, I have 2 issues with it. No Amazon, no Netflix. So it's a great DVR, but it doesn't quite live up to the role of being a complete, like, replacing your Roku or your Fire TV. You're still going to want a Roku, you're still going to want Fire TV because there's no Netflix, there's no Amazon app. Unless I just changed, watch, they're going to say, oh, that happened this morning. It may, but I don't think it did. The TiVo is really good. You're definitely paying a premium, though, for the name, the brand name on it, for TiVo. But if you want to pay that premium there, it's not bad at all. Daniel just brought up one thing with the Channel Master 2, it's only for one device. With Tableau, though, you connect an antenna to it and it connects to multiple TVs out there, so you can watch your Tableau on multiple different TVs in your home through your Roku or whatever. So I think they're all great. They all offer something. Channel Master has a really cool feature. TiVo has a brand name, a lot of spit and polish that comes from years of making the products, but you're paying a premium price for that. And then Tableau has, it doesn't have a direct connect into your TV. You have to connect it and then use a Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, etc. to stream your antenna. So just keep that in mind. All right. Luke, will Vudu go away with the new Walmart streaming service? Yeah, so Walmart's launching a streaming service. It's a subscription streaming service. But no, Vudu is not going away, and it sounds like it may be branded as a Vudu product. So Walmart wants to take on Netflix with what they're calling a Middle America streaming service that will be less than $10 and cheaper than Netflix for sure is what they're kind of saying, and allow you to kind of an all-you-can-eat one. Vudu is a movie store where you buy and rent movies and stuff. They do have a slight free section in that too. So just keep that in mind that there's a lot of different options out there, but I don't think Vudu is going away with the launch of this new one. What happened to the Game Show Network on Sling TV? They had a free preview, and from my understanding, the preview's all over. It's now in one of the add-ons. So if you're watching it in the free preview, it's moved on. So you're going to have to get an add-on or just live without it. I heard Fox-owned stations are being added, a new sub-channel. I forgot what it's called. They very well often. Remember, most Fox-owned stations are different, not owned actually by Fox, but yeah, they're always adding new sub-channels. I'll take a look, see if there's a new one, or if they're just expanding an existing network to new markets. Yeah, Daniel, Tableau is great. I have a lifetime on my Tableau DVR. Really love it. All right, hey, about 10 more minutes. If you have a question, get in, and I'll do my best to answer it. Luke, is the Sinclair merger? So Sinclair is merging with Tribune. I don't think it's dead. I think it's more than likely to be approved, but we could be wrong. They may be looking for some type of scalp to say, hey, we weren't able to stop the AT&T Time Warner merger, but we can stop this. I would be shocked if it didn't happen, to be honest with you. Though there's a lot of conditions. They're definitely going out of their way. Sinclair's basically said, we're going to do what it takes to make this deal happen. And they've already promised to sell this off and do this and do that. So we'll have to wait and see. Luke, have you heard anything about more movie studios being added to Movies Anywhere? No. So Movies Anywhere is owned by Disney. Allows you to log in your, now Microsoft too, Amazon, Google Play, iTunes, Vudu accounts. And if you buy a movie on one service, it's going to be available on all the devices through the Movies Anywhere for select movie studios. But I haven't heard of any additional ones out there. Is Just Watch down? I have not heard. I'm seeing people say it was a 404 error. I haven't used it today. I don't know. I would expect it would come back. If not, if you have a Roku, you may want to look at the Roku search engine. It does pretty much the exact same thing. All right. Ours says, I've been looking for what internet service to get. I currently have AT&T. I'm thinking about Comcast for cord cutting. Anything special I should ask to get a good deal on internet only? 3 tips to get best deal on internet. Shop around, even if you don't plan to switch internet providers. Knowing what the competitors. So if you have AT&T, knowing what Comcast in your market is. So if you have DSL, knowing what the cable is. If you have cable, knowing what the DSL provider is doing. knowing what they charge, because often it'll be met. When you downgrade, if you have a bundle with TV and internet or whatever, or phone maybe, when you downgrade, they're never going to give you the best deal. They just don't. They don't want to give good deals to people who are cutting services. My recommendation is it may not be a bad idea to go to Comcast for a couple years. What I do to save money for internet is every couple years I swap. So I spend a year with Comcast, or two, and if I would live in your area, if once they raise the price and they won't give me a better deal, they'll say, okay, I'm going to go to AT&T. Stay with AT&T for a couple years. Once they won't give me a good deal, I go back to Comcast. My other thing with internet is they're always going to try to talk you into a faster internet package than you need. They're always going to be like, you really need this crazy fast internet package. The truth is you don't. You don't need the fastest. Start on the lower end plans, really 20, 25 and up is all you need to stream. And if you ever find it's not fast enough for you, you can easily increase the speed. It's relatively hard to say, hey, I'm paying for this very expensive internet plan. I don't think I'm using it. Can I downgrade? And they'll be like, oh, you have a contract. Sorry. But in the flip side, if you say, hey, I'm paying for your basic, I want to go to your mid-range internet plan, they'll be like, sure, we'll take more money from you, no problem. So just keep that in mind. Shop around, know where your competitors are in your market, know what they're charging, so when you call, you're informed, so you know that's a good deal, that's not a good deal, and you can also tell Comcast and others that, hey, this is a pretty good deal, check it out. So just keep that in mind. D says, do you foresee someday a Spotify-like streaming services, one price for all movies? Problem is movies are more expensive than songs. I mean, songs, if you think about what was that long ago, 99-cent song purchases. We looked at that. It would be relatively expensive if you really wanted to say, I want to buy a movie or buy a service and get every movie and every TV show ever made, like a Spotify. The problem is most of the movies or most of the songs on Spotify basically don't get anything because they're small and no-name artists. There's huge movie rights contractual issues, very expensive to do that. You would probably be paying cable TV prices right now. I more foresee a method like a Spotify where it says, hey, I'm going to buy 100 credits. Let's say, like Amazon would say, you can buy, like Audible. Here's a good one, Audible. So you buy credits for movies or like audiobooks with Audible. I could see a day where you say, hey, I'm going to spend $40. I'm going to get 30, 50, I don't know what it is, credits. And with those credits, I can go buy, pick out the movies I want. So if I want to watch a season of West Wing, it may cost me 2 credits. If I want to watch the new movie, it may cost me 1 credit. And then these credits can be used to buy. You can always buy more credits later. But I foresee a market where like, hey, everything's included, but you buy a credit system and you exchange the credits for what you want to watch. Does that make sense? I think that's much more likely than an all-you-can-eat one because just of the crazy high expense of going out there and having to pay for all the different movies and TV shows. On Vudu, on the Apple TV, I can watch, but I can't rent or buy movies on Apple TV. Yeah, that comes because Apple takes a cut of anything sold through their devices. So Amazon does the same thing because if they allow it, Apple takes like a 30% cut. So if you have to buy it on a tablet, phone, laptop, etc., and then watch it on your Apple TV. Roku doesn't have those rules, and that's why on Roku you can buy movies on Vudu and on Amazon, etc. Luke, do you think ESPN will ever offer their full slate of channels and sports leagues as an OTT service like ESPN Plus? Very possible. It would be more than $5 a month, probably around $10 a month. ESPN though, or Disney, the parent company of ESPN, has said, hey, we intend to ride this gravy train a little longer and make some more money because we're out there doing our best to make whatever we can. So I wouldn't expect that to happen anytime soon, but Disney has said that, hey, maybe someday you will be able to buy ESPN directly through ESPN Plus. When that'll happen? Next year? Maybe a little soon? Maybe 3 years from now? Who knows? We'll see how fast cord cutting grows. That will kind of dictate how quickly something like that happens. If cord cutting takes off even faster than it is now, heck, they may be pushed up and have to do it sooner than even they think they are going to. Do you know when Minneapolis antenna channels are going to be relocated for the T-Mobile service? I'm not sure. It may have already happened. Usually they broadcast it. You'll get months of notice, and they put ads and scrolling and things saying, hey, rescan your channel. So just keep in mind. You know, Raymond, I'm just not familiar with that service. Sorry. James says, if I tape my antenna cable to the wall, will affect my signal. Shouldn't. You can always play around with it. Remember, your cable coming off your antenna is kind of an antenna itself. So you may have to play around with it a little. All right, last call for questions. Real quick, we're giving away a 4K HDR TCL Roku TV. If you want to learn more, in the show notes, I have a link there. And check that out. We'll love to have your enter it. More times you enter, more chances you get for the Roku TV, free month of Sling, and a Mohu antenna. Mule says, hey, look, the no camera restart this week, and the camera looks great. Yeah, I have a new camera. I have to play around with the settings on it, like the warmness, the coolness, and all that. But we're experimenting with it. We're doing our best to have it look as best as possible. That if you notice in the background, it does a better job of like showing off the different streaming players I have sitting back there. So now I actually have to pay attention to what that looks like back there. It used to be kind of a blurry mess. You didn't really know what it was. But yeah, so we've been investing in equipment. Probably be improving the microphone here soon. But yeah, we got new lighting, new camera, some changes. But hey, to help pay for that real quick, I'm gonna play a short, quick ad, and then we'll come back and answer some more questions. But give me a chance for you to go enter the giveaway. For me, take a quick drink of water. Here we go. Hey, for everybody who doesn't see the ad, hey, thanks for your support. July was the best month ever at Core Cars News. Crushed all other months. If you're watching this for the first time, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, we are doing our best to answer your core car related questions, help you get the most. We have all kinds of other tips, tricks, how-to guides. Every week we have a weekly recap show with all the biggest news in the world of cord cutting, and hopefully help you get more. But we're almost at 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button for me. I would really appreciate it. Don't know if we're going to hit that today. We got a couple hundred or under 100 to go, but we'll probably for sure hit that 30,000 subscriber mark tomorrow. So thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. All right, now that everybody's back, let's dive into the questions. D asks, what are your thoughts on attic antennas? And D, thank you for that $5 donation. Helps pay for this brand new camera we got. That thing was not cheap. But they're great. I have an attic antenna. I use an attic antenna. A couple great benefits to it. You don't have to worry about weather damaging it or getting it out of alignment. If you live in an HOA, it hides it. I like it. It hides it. If you have a metal roof, you definitely would want to be on top of it because metal blocks and over their TV signals. 2, it's not quite as efficient as a roof mounted antenna, but the decrease in reception is so minor. It's not 9 times out of 10 won't be an issue. All right, so just I like attic mounted antennas. Not a bad idea. What was the streaming service that allowed some TV channels to stream for free? It didn't stream in landscape mode. I'm not. Are you talking about Aerial? But Aerial did in landscape mode. Though not streaming in landscape mode's throwing me. I'm not sure, Raymond. To be honest with you. Well, Instagram. Maybe there's that Instagram Live one that does the vertical one. I don't know. Sling TV needs to remove the Univision channels. So annoying. So Univision is probably, according to the vice president or somebody over at Dish, probably not coming back to Sling. Probably not coming back to Dish. They want a very big price hike. They're actually laying off a bunch of people too at the same time. And Sling has said your content's not worth the 75% price hike. So just keep that in mind. But hey, last call for questions, and I'll try to answer it. Yeah, let me scroll back, see if I missed any quick. What resolution is Hoopla in? Hoopla offers up to HD resolution. If you're not familiar with Hoopla, it's available at most public libraries. Use your public library card to go out there and then take. You create an account through your public library, and then you can rent movies, books, ebooks, audiobooks, TV shows, all kinds of stuff, music CDs, and stream them through the apps. So it's pretty cool. Hoopla Digital, highly recommend it. I'm trying to set up an interview with their president real soon here. Will IGTV ever be as big as Facebook? Instagram TV could be. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of a new product. I don't know. We'll see what Instagram TV turns out to be. But hey, I think we're going to cut it right here. I got things to do today. Still got to spend some time with the family. Thank you everybody for your support. Again, hit that subscribe button. It's a huge favorite. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here. Your support's been unbelievable. I can't believe it that we're going to hit 30,000 subscribers today or tomorrow. I really appreciate it, so check it out. Last question. I will take this one real quick and we're going to call it. Duff says, Luke, is there commercials with Hoopla Digital? No, it's free, commercial free, comes with your library membership for most libraries. So a few other competing servers, Hoopla Digital is kind of the big one. But hey, you're already paying for it with your tax dollars. Might as well take advantage of it. But hey, everybody, have a good night. You can sideload Roku, apps to the Roku through the Roku private channel store. So just keep that in mind. Is it safe? Most of them are safe. But remember, if it sounds too good to be true, probably is. Good rule of thumb for everything in life, folks. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hey, have a good night. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for that donation, D. I really appreciate it. I'll see you all next week. And check back on Saturday for our weekly core cutting recap show. Take care, everybody.